Welcome to the lecture series in computer science. We are seeing a series of lectures in the subject Agile methodologies. We will be seeing a topic on institutional knowledge evolution cycle. The contents of today's session are: we will be seeing the classification of knowledge management evolution cycle, the personal knowledge evolution cycle, the knowledge management that has been used in organizations. We will be seeing about the knowledge strategies that is used in the organization, and then we will be concluding our session by seeing the knowledge management in the CMM levels. I suppose, my dear viewers, you might be knowing there are various CMM levels, there are 5 different CMM levels. So, we will be seeing how this knowledge has been managed in such CMM level based companies. So, as far as this content is concerned, the classification of knowledge management evolution cycle is concerned, it is a very important topic as far as the examination point of view is concerned. This question will be asked, the knowledge management evolution cycle will be asked wherever we go. So, as a first topic, we will be seeing the classification of institutional knowledge evolution cycle. Now, what do you mean by institutional knowledge evolution cycle? How it is classified? It is classified into 5 different stages. So, one is the knowledge development, second is the knowledge acquisition, third is the knowledge refinement, fourth is the knowledge distribution, and fifth is the knowledge leveraging. Whereas the fourth cycle we can classify it as knowledge distribution and development. So, I repeat, the first one is for knowledge development, second is knowledge acquisition, third is knowledge refinement, fourth is knowledge distribution, and fifth is the knowledge leveraging. Now, what is knowledge development? Through learning, innovation, knowledge is being developed through learning, through innovation, creativity, and importation from the worldly experience. Now, so after developing the knowledge, as we have seen in our previous lectures about varied means of acquiring knowledge, we can acquire knowledge through published resources, through thesis, through reporting, through all sort of websites, through all sort of varied means we can acquire the knowledge. So, after acquiring knowledge, how do we develop? This is an important examination question. So, knowledge has been developed through learning, through innovation, through creativity, through importation, and through experience. My dear viewers, when we say about experience, we would have learnt about the tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. So, here it is, and then the second point is the knowledge acquisition. What is knowledge acquisition? The knowledge is being captured and you need to retain it. See, now you have learned something, you have stored it in your memory, but it is the responsibility of an individual to get the exact crisp, exact content from the resources, and after capturing the knowledge, we are supposed to retain it. The next is knowledge refinement. As far as knowledge refinement is concerned, see, we have developed, we have acquired, now we are going to refine, because we would have got n number of things, we would have captured many different contents, but if we need to refine, when we are going to apply it, we need to use a refined knowledge. So, when you are going to use a refined knowledge, it should be organized, transformed, or included in the written material, or it should be available in the knowledge bases. So, this is how the classification of institutional knowledge evolution life cycle works on. Now, and then about the knowledge distribution, the fourth process is about the knowledge distribution. As far as the knowledge distribution and development is concerned, knowledge is distributed through education means, through training programs, through automated knowledge based systems, through expert networks, through practices. You gain more and more knowledge through experience. People, practices denotes experience. You get more knowledge through experience. Then it is embedded in technology and procedures. And then what is knowledge leveraging? Leveraging means it is applying. My dear viewers, kindly make a note, leveraging is applying. So, the knowledge is leveraged based on further learning and innovation. So, it acts as a knowledge application, acts as a basis for future learning, and it is used for the innovative works. So, this is how the institutional knowledge has been classified. Now, let us see the KM evolution cycle, which is nothing but the knowledge management evolution cycle. As far as this evolution cycle is concerned, it has 5 different circles. The first and foremost cycle is creating. You are going to create the knowledge. How do you create the knowledge? How can you get the knowledge? Knowledge can be acquired through learning, innovative and research by using prior and imported knowledge, by using the published resources. So, now you have created the knowledge. Now, after you create the knowledge, you are supposed to capture it. Whatever you have learnt, you are supposed to store it in a memory. So, capturing and storing knowledge to reuse, build and leverage it in other ways and apply it in different applications. So, you have created the knowledge, you have captured and stored the knowledge. The third point is, whatever you have captured and whatever you have stored, it has to be kept in an organized manner. That is called organization and transformation. So, organize and transform knowledge to make it broadly available, and we are supposed to embed whatever we have learnt. And then after you organize and transform, it is where you deploy it, how you deploy it and how it works. We might be having a number of things in our dream, but when it comes to application, when it comes to reality, it might change. So, the deploying of knowledge, deploy knowledge, it should be done to the people, and it comes through practices, technology, products and services. Now, after you deploy the knowledge, how do you make use of the deployed knowledge? It is nothing but apply, use and leverage knowledge to act effectively for visibility and for success. Now, when you do this in your organization, my dear viewers, in our earlier lectures we have seen about the different process life cycle models, agile life cycle models. We have seen models such as extreme programming, we have seen models such as frameworks such as Scrum framework, models such as DSDM, dynamic system development method, and then we saw models such as Crystal. So, we saw models such as Lean. So, based on those process models, we would have developed a product, and that product we would have delivered it. But that product, it will not be working for the lifetime. It will be working, but it will be working fine one and only when you update the product often. So, it is the responsibility of the organization to update. So, when they are going to update, now I have deployed and I have applied. I have applied, used and leveraged the knowledge to act effectively for visibility, for viability and for success. But if you want to update, then again I will be getting new concepts, and then again I go into this create knowledge. So, the cycle continues. So, my dear viewers, it is create knowledge, capture and store knowledge, organization transform knowledge, deploy knowledge, apply, use and leverage knowledge. So, these are the 5 important factors that you are supposed to know in the knowledge management evolution cycle. Then the next topic is on the personal knowledge evolution cycle. What do you mean by personal knowledge evolution cycle? It is again, it has been classified into 5 different stages. The first stage is called as the tacit subliminal knowledge. The tacit subliminal knowledge. Tacit knowledge is one that we get through experience, through learning. So, next is idealistic vision and paradigm knowledge. The third one is the systematic schema and reference methodology. Based on, supposing we are going to write a research paper, supposing if you are going to write a white paper in your organization, based on the work that you have carried out. You refer few things. You refer that you have used this particular concept from this particular project. So, you do a referral methodology, that is called as a reference methodology. Then the fourth stage is the pragmatic decision. The fifth stage is automatic routine working knowledge. So, my dear viewers, it is again an important examination point of view question about the personal knowledge evolution cycle. My dear viewers, this is the basic difference between the institutional knowledge development evolution cycle and this one is the personal knowledge evolution cycle. Here also it is classified into 5 different stages. One is called as the tacit subliminal knowledge, second is the idealistic vision and paradigm knowledge, third is the systematic schema and reference methodology knowledge, fourth is the pragmatic decision, and fifth is the automatic routine working knowledge. Now, let us see what a tacit subliminal knowledge is. A tacit subliminal knowledge is a non-conscious and it is not well understood. We can get into it when we work, when we get more and more practiced, we acquire more and more knowledge. So, the second one is about the idealistic vision and paradigm knowledge. It is the part of this knowledge is well known to us and it is explicit, that is working consciously. The third one is the systematic schema and the reference methodology knowledge. What is the systematic schema? A knowledge of underlying systems, general principles and the problem solving strategies, to a large extent explicit and mostly which are all known to others. How you are going to do? See, there will be many people who would have worked with the project. A person ABC team, a team called A, wherein you have 2 different members called B and C, they would have worked with some concept. So, and they would have even failed in working in that concept. So, if you are present in team D, you will be checking what the failure is and you will be learning from the experience. When you are working in, you will be doubly cautious and you will see to that you are not going to fail in that particular part. So, here you have learned through experience. So, that is where the systematic schema and the reference methodology comes in, wherein you are able to refer that particular team failed, we learnt many things because of that particular team's failure or because of my previous project's failure. So, this is how you refer the different methodologies. You might be knowing which methodology to be used. Supposing we are going to use a wrong methodology, your project will miserably, it will get failed. So, as a project manager or as a scrum master, when you work with the scrum framework, or as an agile coach when you work with the extreme programming, it is the responsibility of the scrum master or the agile coach to identify the correct process model so that the success will be guaranteed. So, that becomes the systematic schema and the reference methodology. How does he identify the correct model? He will be identifying the correct model based on the past experiences that he had in working with different set of projects. So, this is about the personal knowledge evolution cycle. Now, and then about the pragmatic decision. What is a pragmatic decision? Making and factual knowledge, getting the facts and implementing those facts, it is called the pragmatic decision. Getting the factual knowledge, decision making, knowledge management, the knowledge is practical and it is mostly explicit. Then the final personal knowledge evolution cycle depends on the automatic routine working knowledge, which has become tacit to perform tasks automatically without any conscious reasoning. Now, let us see a diagrammatic representation of the personal knowledge evolution cycle. When you are going to work in any kind of project, you are supposed to have a vision and you are supposed to have a mission. Vision is a long term goal and it should be idealistic. So, before you are going to have a vision, you need to have a working practical experience, practical knowledge. That comes the tacit or subliminal knowledge. So, when you have the tacit knowledge or the subliminal knowledge, then when you get this idealistic vision and when you have a paradigm knowledge, then we could end up going in by using the systematic schema. What is a systematic schema? When you are going to work with an agile method, when you are going to carry out the extreme programming methodology, then what is the technique that has been used? My dear viewers, when we learned about the extreme programming methodology, the techniques that were used are the pair programming. The main technique that was used were the pair programming, 8-hour job, 40 hours a week. You can have 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 5 days in a week. And as far as the pair programming is concerned, two people sit together and work on the same logic of code. So, when the scrum master, when the agile coach, when he is going to say it as he is going to work with extreme programming, then he will be following the systematic schema. In this systematic schema, when he is going to use this extreme programming as his process model, definitely he will be using the pair programming concept, because that is a technique that has been followed in using this agile method in extreme programming. And the project manager or the person whoever handholds the team is called the agile coach. So, he knows what is the schema that is to be followed. So, the systematic schema that is to be followed and the methodology that is available, and he takes it as a knowledge. Then the pragmatic decision making and the factual knowledge. Pragmatic decision making is, supposing if the project is going in line, supposing if there is a delay, then it is the responsibility of the agile coach to handhold the entire team and to take it in the right way and to see to that the project, the target, the milestones, the small releases. When you work with XP, you call it as small releases, incremental releases. When you work with the Scrum framework, you call it as MMF, minimum marketable feature, wherein we work based on the sprints. At the end of each and every sprint, you are supposed to, the team is supposed to deliver small minimal marketable features. So, in order to deliver a minimum marketable feature or in order to make a small release as far as extreme programming is concerned, it is the responsibility of the agile coach to give a pragmatic decision making, and he can obtain this based on the factual knowledge that he has gained. And then the next one is about the automatic routine working knowledge. We know when we say that you are going to use this XP as your process model, everyone knows that you will be using the pair programming as a technique. Everyone knows you will be testing then and there. Everyone knows you are going to give small releases. So, that becomes an automatic routine working knowledge. But how you are going to work, what is the means, how the decisions are being made, that is the responsibility of the agile coach in pragmatic decision making. And here the automatic routine working knowledge takes place, and then based on the experience, again you learn through your experience, you get this tacit subliminal knowledge, and based on this again you do this visioning and you work with the paradigm knowledge. So, this is how the cycle continues till you deliver, till you make the small releases, and not only you do not end up with the small releases. One fine day you will be clubbing all those releases, you will be clubbing all those small modules into bigger module, and then you will be releasing it as a product. So, this is how the personal knowledge evolution cycle works in. Then the next one is how the knowledge is being managed in organizations. As far as the knowledge management is concerned, you have a reduced time. Why? It is because as far as the agile development is concerned, it is meant for smaller teams, it is meant for faster delivery, it is meant for when there is a requirement creep, we go into this agile development. When there is a huge change in the requirements, quite often we go into this agile development. So, as far as this knowledge management is concerned, it works with the reduced time and reduced cost for information collection, dissemination and refuse. Now, as far as the knowledge management is concerned, again it is used for the shrinking cycle time for the product or market development. What does it mean? The sprint, when you work with the Scrum framework, the duration of sprint you can have maximum of 28 days, minimum of 7 days, intermediary of 14 days. The sprint duration of 14 days, what does it mean? For every 14 days, you are supposed to give a small minimal marketable feature. For supposing if you are going to have the duration of sprint of 7 days, you are supposed to give minimum marketable feature for every 7 days. If it is of 28 days, it is so on. So, it is a responsibility of the Scrum Master in Scrum framework, Scrum Master to make decision to decide upon how the cycle, process cycle need to be, each and every sprint cycle how it has to be. It is a responsibility of the Scrum Master to decide upon. So, shrinking cycle time for product and market development. Now, as far as the knowledge management is concerned, you are going to stemming intellectual losses linked to the employee turnover, and it is used for improving customer or vendor services and for support processes. It is used for identifying innovative business or revenue generating opportunities. So, these are the areas wherein the knowledge management is being used. This is how it is being used in the organizations, and it is again an important concept. How the knowledge management is used in organizations? It is used through stemming intellectual losses linked to employee turnover, improving customer vendor services and support processes, identifying innovative business and revenue generating opportunities. So, this is how the knowledge management is being carried out in organizations. Then, now let us see how the knowledge strategy is being developed or it is being used in the organizations. As far as the knowledge strategy is concerned, it all depends upon this triangle. At one end of the triangle speaks about the enterprise enabling, second part speaks about the business drivers. Now, what is enterprise enabling? It is about the process, efficiency and effectiveness. How we are going to take the process? It is based on the input. Whatever input that you take, how it is going to get processed, and whatever process that it is going to work on, what is the actual output and what is the expected output. This is what the customer expects. So, if it is so, it is like this, it is based on input, process and output. The output is determined using, is calculated using effectiveness. So, in the enterprise enabling, we have business strategy, we have implementation and operational plans, we have the business processes and the best practices, we have capabilities, we have the value added and we have the environmental influences, and by and large it all depends on the people, the process, the technology, the infrastructure management and the maintenance that is being used, and everything comes into effect one and only if we have proper leadership, proper organization to give funding. The top management has to do funding. It is a very important concept as far as the agile software development is concerned. So, and it all relies upon what technology that we use and what is the learning. how we have learnt, how we have obtained the knowledge, how you have captured the knowledge, how you have deployed the knowledge, how we are using the knowledge. So, it all learns on these 4 different factors. So, this is how the knowledge strategy in organization has been worked upon. Now, let us see the knowledge management in the CMM levels. My dear viewers, you might be knowing the industry, they have 5 different CMM levels. First level is the default level, second is the reactive level, third is the aware level, fourth is the convinced level, fifth one is the sharing level. So, here in terms of the, let us see about the key result areas. The key result area is classified in 3 different groups. One is people, process and technology. As far as the people is concerned, in the reactive level, level 2, as far as level 1 is concerned, it is all common. So, when you go into the level 2, we have the knowledge awareness that is required with the people, the content capture management with process, basic information as far as the technology. The person whoever is working in needs to know about the technology that is going to work upon. Then as far as the level 3 is concerned, he should be aware, the people, the person, the employee who is working in the project should be aware of the central knowledge organization and the knowledge education. You need to have the education, it will come using through training. Then as far as the process is concerned, it is based on the content structure management. As far as the technology is concerned, it is based on the knowledge technology infrastructure. And as far as the level 4 is concerned, it is based on convinced. So, here we go in for the customized enabling. It is this kind has been used for a software wherein we are going to update the software, wherein we are going to revamp the existing software. So, customized enabling. As far as the process is concerned, we have content environment and knowledge and configuration management. As far as technology is concerned, we have the knowledge infrastructure management. And as far as the level 5 sharing is concerned, with respect to process, we have the expertise, integration, knowledge, leverage, innovation management. So, these are the CMM levels in companies, organization wherein the management has been used. Now, let us summarize this session. We saw about the classification of the knowledge management evolution cycle. We saw about the classification, 5 different stages of the personal knowledge evolution cycle. We saw about the knowledge management in organizations. We saw about the knowledge strategy that is used in the organizations. And we concluded this session by saying the last topic with the knowledge management that has been used in the CMM level organizations. Thank you.